made it, honey. The joys of living on a boat. So I've had to transport our new form of transport back to our boat. So we put the electric scooter on the rib, drove it up literally just making tide. So we're going to get it inside now. Christ, is it heavier than what it says. It's apparently 25 kilos, but we'll see. Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. This is something that we've bought new to be able to put on the boat and use as transport whenever we're out and about. Throw it in the rib, take it around. A little bit disappointing, the box has come damaged. I can clearly see inside the box that the plastic's been ripped, the paintwork's been damaged. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a video stroke review on this scooter, as I've noticed there's nothing online about this certain product. So I'm going to start by opening the box and getting the little beast out, and you'll be able to see with me what's been damaged and how she's turned up.
What is the scooter?
It's a YMS10, and I'm using my trusty Leatherman to open the box. Alright, let's get in here. I'm not sponsored by Leatherman, I'm not sponsored by Yume. I am really excited to get this. It's going to make getting around so much easier when we go to different places. What a shame. It's not a massive amount of damage. Crikey. This thing's meant to weigh 25 kilos. There's no way it's 25 kilos. I'd have said more like 45. It's got to be somewhere around there. It's not light by any means. Right, let's get this little beast packaging out. Oh. There she is. It's a little bit different weight once she's out of the box. It doesn't seem as bad to handle. I suppose at least once she's out of the box you've got the carry-on on the scooter itself. A little bit of marking to the deck. Doesn't look over too bad. I'm going to go ahead, get this out of the plastic. Emma's going to make a coffee and we'll carry on from there. Well, here we go. Got her out of the box. It's not as damaged as I thought it was, looking at how damaged the box was. There's quite a lot of scuffing on the side of the deck. Mainly on this area and this side, literally where it's just been sliding around in a delivery van. Some around the fenders, but I'm going to go ahead, put this together. Once it's up in the air and the handlebars are on, I can start to see how it looks and if there is anything else that's damaged. It's a shame that couriers just do not seem to look after this stuff. And what was you pointing out to me a second ago? What's the other thing that we have to deal with living on a boat, the main thing?
Getting rid of rubbish. I now have a box to get rid of.
It's a nice box.
I'm not keeping a box.
It's a lovely box.
So what made you go for this scooter?
It just looked a decent quality, and when I looked at the reviews online, they had a decent review. It looks a quality product. I was looking at the M4 Kugo, I think it was, but the quality-wise of it just didn't look anything in comparison to this one. So I went for this. Obviously this one comes as standard with the knobbly tyres. I want to put a nice set of DH handlebars on there. One thing you'll notice about me through these videos is I can't leave anything alone. Everything has to be modified. So this being that, this will end up modified, more than likely hydraulic brakes. I'm going to be going into the speed controller. I'll disconnect the speed limiter, which I can clearly see because that goes into a diode. Not going to be the hardest thing to find. Also, I'll have a look while I'm in there how the shunts are done. This is a 21 amp hour controller on this, so if I take that up to about 30 amps, that will give me that nice torque to get up any hills. Being in Devon, there's quite a lot of hills around here, so I need that torque. I'm going to drop inside the top of it just to check on the battery to make sure it is what the seller said it is. I'm going to do a video of me going into the speed controller, modifying the shunts, disconnecting the speed limit from it. Yeah, I'm probably going to modify these rear shocks. These aren't the shocks which was shown in the eBay advert, the shocks that was on there was adjustable spring type shocks. So I'm probably going to change those. I need to put my calipers across there, just take a measurement, but I would imagine like the mini motorbike style shocks that are 125mm, just lift up that back end just a little bit more and give it a bit more of an aggressive look.
He can never leave anything alone.
Kid at Christmas. Kid at Christmas. I love these toys. I sold it to Emma by saying that I needed it for getting around on the boat, but obviously within the next week or so I've got to try and get another one so Emma can come out with me as well, and wherever we dock them we've got transport. One of the other odd things is trying to get your car around. So if we've got the car in one place and we scooch over to Dartmouth or somewhere like that, we've literally got no transport when we get there. We've had some nice electric bikes in the past. I'll have to put some pictures on one of the films about those. But putting those and keeping those on a boat, they are big units, which just makes it too difficult. Everything's falling over now. In the box with this unit itself, the scooter, came the charger. It's a European plug, a nice little Allen key set. All of that looks in good order to the fit. I should open that up as well just to make sure there's no damage to any of that. There we go. It's definitely better than unwrapping Christmas presents.
At least you got to unwrap that one. The dog normally tries unwrapping stuff.
It does like to help unwrap stuff. So yeah, it's not a bad looking charger. It's only a slow charger. It's got a 54.6 volt at 2 amps. I know you can get a 5 amp charger, which would increase or decrease the charge time quite significantly. So there we go again. There's more bits and bobs that are going to have to be bought for it. So how does this look? That's that section. So let's see how this is going to go on. Just put that on like that for a second, just so it's literally out of the way. Wow, it's a lot higher than what I thought it was going to be. Here's me thinking about modifying the shocks already, and it's actually quite a high unit. Right, the brakes are all locked. I don't know if there's any kind of locking mechanism. Well, the brakes are damaged as well. They're all just marked, but I like things to look nice and shiny, especially when you bought them new. Well guys, I'm going to leave that there, crack on. I'm just going to tighten up the headset and just have a quick check over everything, make sure all of these bolts are tight. And I think the next video is going to be me going into the top, having a look, see what amp hour battery it is, see if it is what the seller says it is, and then the next steps from there is going to be going inside, opening up the speed controller, removing that speed limiter and modifying the shunts. I can either, depending on what shunts are in there, I can either add another shunt, or I can literally just tin the two and just get that little bit more power. I'm not going to go crazy on it because I've got to check what the battery is first. I need to make sure that the battery can handle the power I'm going to take from it. Otherwise the BMS that's in there could start wanting to shut the system down. So it's all worth checking before we start doing this. I'll also just look at all the wiring, make sure some of these kind of things you can get, it looks all shiny and nice on the outside, but the wiring on the inside, a lot of the times the heat shrink and things like that, they don't bother to warm it up. So sometimes the heat shrink will have moved and you have bit connections. It is always worth just working through it and checking it all out. Plus I can't make my mind up whether to give it a charge before I start taking it to pieces, or whether I charge it up and take it for a test run and then bring it back and modify it. But I'll let you know in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this.